It's time.
All right, here we go.
The Cocktail Show.
Get ready to have a good time.
Let's have a good time.
This is exciting, isn't it?
Oh, I like that.
Hello, testing.
Welcome aboard the Dreamliner.
It's the only way to fly.
Wow.
I've allotted 1 hour for recreational activity. There's no time for irrelevant conversation. Fun will now commence.
Cocktail Show.
Gary.
Here's a young speaker who is really in demand.
Don't let that go to your head, Gary.
But wait, there's more.
I'm the guy.
Finger gun.
Meier.
3, 2, 1, 0.
Welcome to the Garry Meier Show Cocktail Hour Live.
There's a live thing in here.
Cocktails. Ooh, drinks.
We're streaming live at 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 Central.
On Friday, the 17th of May, 2024. And of course, no matter where you are, it's time for a digital mimosa. That's true whether you're on a 10-mile final approach from a long overseas flight, or you're heading out of town, or you're just making your own flight path. As always, whatever the case may be,
The best way to watch this show is the GarrForce Live YouTube channel.
YouTube. Subscribe to the GarrForce Live YouTube channel.
More eyeballs. It's a good thing.
please like and share the show on all the social media channels.
Comments during the live show, wherever we are streaming, can be seen in our virtual studio
We may show them on the screen.
and or talk about them.
Kablooey. Ah, that's good. Disappeared.
And that's it.
Now, fasten your seatbelts. It's time to go wheels up on the GarrForce Live.
Live!
Live. Here we go. The following may be disturbing on America's podcast. Boom. Shakalaka. Got some oxygen. Where's my bourbon? All right. Welcome to the Cocktail Show Live. That's good. All right. I have to do a couple things here. I'm G Motors, and we are going to kick the tires and light the fires. There the tires are. There's the fire. And one more thing has to happen on the Cocktail Show to go wheels up. This woman has to remove her wine condom. Leslie, hello.
I do. Got a bottle of Josh Chardonnay today, and look at this buildup on top.
Oh, that's going to be good.
I have high hopes here.
That's going to fly. 3,
Exit on the
2,
high. Oh, it just went bloop.
Bloop, bloop. Oh, well,
Like I
it
said,
looks
I
good.
think they're using cheaper rubber these days. So
That's
be careful.
probably it. Everything's cheaper. Yeah, all that small stuff I've noticed, match sticks,
Yep.
floss, paper towels, all those items are cheaper. You can tell. In fact, I had a little case of Coca-Cola cans, and I had a little cutter to open the box. So I like to make a neat opening so I can just take them out of the box like that.
Nice. Yeah.
And I just nicked the can barely, and this blade wasn't that big, and the thing started squirting out. So the aluminum must be razor thin too.
Really thin.
Yeah, it's cheap.
As
ass
are the
shit.
margins these days, which is why they're making everything cheaper, apparently.
Exactly. So how are you?
Doing okay. I see that you remembered to put Band-Aids on today.
Yeah, last week I forgot my Band-Aids, and that ain't right. And I'm
No.
ready to go.
Oh,
All
very
Tasmanian
stylish.
devils,
Cool.
and that's good for gripping the Manhattan.
Oh, there you go.
But,
Then you
know,
don't have
good-
to use two hands like we've seen some people do.
Right. That means you're shaking, and that's not good. We have entered the prom tornado, carnival mishap, barges running into bridges,
That is happening a lot.
medical waste washing up on shore, people eating too much shrimp at Red Lobster, and bouncy castles blowing away season.
Oh, did you mention cicadas? Because cicadas should be in there too.
Cicada season 2, yes, in a large portion of the middle of the country. Have they emerged in your area? Let me know. I'm going to go to the comments in just a second here. In fact, right now I'm going, you know what we do here? The Schnauzer rides the whale.
There you go.
Thanks to Tracy from Wisconsin. That's why I have this.
And we finally heard back from Tracy, and she's had
She's
some
good. She had some
things
things
that-
she was
yeah.
working through, and now she's getting better, and we're happy to hear that.
And she's better and more generous than ever. Yeah, there you go.
There it is.
So we'll show some of what Tracy has provided in our prize package this week.
Okay. More than the ball liquor?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Keelianne always checks in first. No date tonight for me. I guess I'll be walking the schnauzer on my own.
Oh, there's no harm.
Yeah.
Because probably nobody knows how to handle your schnauzer better than you do.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're familiar with it more than anybody.
Exactly.
Chuck from WRLR in Gurnee, Illinois, checking in. He's here every week. Chuck sends me a lot of videos. I appreciate that. I wish we could show them on this, but we tried early on and we got flagged. Everything's copywritten, trademarked, whatever.
And yet, there's this whole genre of videos, and I don't know how they
Okay.
make them. And it's people watching other people's videos.
Okay, I
And
don't know, but
you could just
we
see
do
my
it.
reaction to watching something that somebody else recorded. I don't,
We tried it, and as soon as we
I
posted the
know.
show which we do after we do it live, it got pulled down. Oh, that's a copyright infringement, so we just couldn't do it anymore. Martin from British Columbia, always here. Martin, good to see you. Greg, always here from Decula, Georgia. Wow, there's some language there. I don't.
Shout out to
That's
Greg.
that's is that Italian?
Diamo inizio al festa.
Hey, what's
Okay.
the matter, you? Huh?
I don't know. Is that last thing a swear?
I don't know what language that is. And Greg, if you want to interpret that and send the interpretation
Wait,
back.
hang on. I'll turn on Google Translate. Let's see.
There you go.
Let's
Thank you,
see.
Alan.
It's got that great camera function. Detect language to English. Where's my English button?
Hello from Greg in Dacula.
All right, let's see what we got.
Or Dacula.
It says, hello from Greg in Dacula, Georgia. Let's get the party started, kick the tires, and light the fires.
Oh, okay.
Hey, how did you do that, Alan?
Google Translate. Google
But
Translate's
what do
got
you
it.
do? You just hold it up to the.
Yeah, I just hold the camera right up to the non-English text. It determines what language it is, and it gives you a translation. And this time it was nice and clean. Sometimes
Wow.
I've tried it on some buildings and whatnot. Sometimes it's a little sketchy, but it's a great tool if you're heading overseas.
We've come a long way from this, haven't we?
What is that?
It's a transistor radio.
Oh my!
This was
oh my
our
goodness.
iPhone when I was a kid. This is a replica of those from yesteryear, which I got probably 20, 25 years ago. But this is pretty much what they look like. And this was everything. This was our conduit to cool. And
Oh heck yeah!
just AM. AM on this. That's it. Boom.
And now they want to do away with it. Automobile manufacturers are saying, "What's the point? We
I
have
know,
so many
but
other things in the car. We don't need
I will
that."
always have a special place for it. Because, well, we know, don't we, or don't we? I don't care. If you know, you know. If you don't need to know. This is Rob. Tonight, roll up in the G Motors Dune Buggy because the Nonsensical Bullshit Tour is hoping to take you away. Take you away. Take you today. Samantha is always Mundelein, Illinois. What's so
Okay.
funny?
You.
I decided I knew I was going to get lit hours ago
Okay.
because I just had it in my head. I really want to get lit tonight, and that's not bad. And
No.
I don't have to worry about a guest. I don't have to mind my manners as much. So I haven't had that
When
much
did
of
you
the
start?
Manhattan.
Oh,
Huh?
okay. So that's the
started-
first one
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This I'm
in the,
not going to
in
have
the
more than
pre-show.
one.
I mean, this isn't like your second. I had one with
No. I didn't
lunch.
start
I
earlier.
had-
No.
Okay. Okay.
Mm-mm. In my mind, about mid-afternoon, I went, "Oh boy, in a few hours, Manhattan time," and it makes it
Good.
more exciting. Ugh.
Oh,
That's
yes.
a bingo. Where are we? Samantha, she's here every week. Mundelein, Illinois. Appreciate it. And who else through the screen door? Brian from Oh Yes. Friday comes so quickly, it seems, but I don't care. It gets me to my Manhattan and my GarrForce cocktail hour, best hour of the week. Cheers. I had a nice conversation with Brian today because the whole Sheridan family is very talented, and you've
Oh my
seen
God,
his
yeah.
daughter Katie with the band. Oh yes,
Yep.
perform on this program. She's going to, in the coming weeks, do a Gen Z report and to get a perspective from somebody from that demographic on an ongoing basis. And
She's got
Brian's
Riz. She's
son,
not sus.
what's
See,
that?
I'm learning. She's got Riz, but she's not sus. I'm learning the lingo. I want to keep
Okay, you're
up
getting
with
ready.
the kids.
Good,
Mm-hmm.
good. Brian's son just graduated.
Google Translate doesn't have a setting for that yet.
No setting for that?
No.
Brian's son just graduated from Columbia in Chicago, and he's an illustrator, and he's going to start doing some illustrations for the show based on the Schnauzer and the GarrForce plane and those kinds of things. So, yeah.
Well, he can put that on his resume in the same way that we found out that Johnny from Michigan put this show on his resume. So it's people helping people. We just want to network.
Johnny sent me a picture of some strawberries he had just purchased and was enjoying. Okay.
He gets around.
This, what's this?
Stop
Okay.
it, Alan.
Come on.
Cut it out, man.
Stop it.
We need
Hey,
you.
if Johnny can put it on his resume,
Oh,
see
okay.
everybody's resume.
All right. We know yours is active. Okay. Where are we here? More people on the screen. Kevin D. Gary Leslie. My wheelchair broke. What kind do you use? I go all battery power now.
Weed whacker, not wheelchair.
I'm because I thought, why is he saying well, his wheelchair broken? What kind do we use? I
Because I have a
apologize.
spare out in the garage if you need a wheelchair, but no, he's
Okay.
talking weed whacker
See,
here. I think I
that's
got a
the
spare one of
Manhattan
those.
talking
too.
already.
I should put an eye chart in the opening so that Gary can check.
Yeah, you
every
might
week
have
as
to.
we're working beforehand.
I have to. Hey, I do wear glasses for reading. I'm not saying
There you go.
I don't need them. I do, and I try to get by. And I'm looking through a screen door too, so I have an excuse. Weed whacker. Mine is an Echo. I have an Echo weed whacker.
Oh, that's very nice. Battery operated. And all those batteries are interchangeable, I'm told.
Yes. All right, Kevin. Amy, St. Louis, check it in. Hello. Looking forward to the flight. Hope I can hear the show over all these screeching cicadas. They're screeching in St. Louis, huh?
Oh my. Okay. Well, I saw a couple of exoskeletons on my back deck and a live one climbing up the front of the house today. So yeah, they're definitely starting to pop.
They're coming out.
Problem
Bill,
is a-hole here, literally, likes to put them in his mouth and try and sneak them into the house. And you could just little wings fluttering in the side. So can't wait for that.
got to keep the cat inside
Yep.
for a while. This is Bill from Glendale, AZ, and he's enjoying Bernarda Malbec from Cooper's Hawk this afternoon.
Yeah. Oh, very nice.
Yeah, you've had that?
Yes, I have.
Okay. That's
Used to
good.
be a Cooper's Hawk wine club member.
Oh,
Yeah.
David.
Because I'm a joiner.
I've been petting my girlfriend Schnauzer all afternoon. She seems to like it, I guess. I never thought about taking it for a walk and that she'd like that better. Okay. Well, you're doing what you think is right.
Yeah. Just go where that Schnauzer petting takes you.
And who else? I see other people coming up here. Sandy. It's going to be 4:20 really soon here. Hi, everybody. Sandy from West Michigan.
Cheers.
Checking in from Lindenhurst, Illinois today.
Got a couple of people up north. Lindenhurst, I saw in Antioch.
Yeah, Deborah from Wilmington. That's a bit south of the city. And of the city of Chicago. What other city would there be? That's the main frame.
Alan, cut it out, man.
Honestly, I don't know why that popped. I don't know why that one popped back
How
up.
did that happen? I don't
actually
know.
turned it off.
I don't know.
Hey, Alan, you
Usually when I turn off a comment, it just goes blank. But this one just wants to keep coming back up.
I guess so. You showed, I believe it was the world's busiest square mile airport, Midway in Chicago, right?
Yes, sir.
the
That
beginning?
was well, I showed that. I showed scenes from O'Hare. Let's see, we got this I took out of a plane window.
Nice.
And that's that left-hand side there is the cover of the show this week. Let me get the comment off the screen. And let me get this off the screen. I don't know why it keeps. I honestly don't know why it keeps turning back on.
Yeah, I don't know how that got on there. Please, somebody call.
But there's Midway. There's O'Hare.
Look at that. Okay, let's go back to the Midway airport shot, because look at that thing surrounded by houses. And if you've seen any of the pictures that are posted, the planes are landing 10 feet above some of the houses that surround the airport. I don't know how you live there.
I had a friend in college who lived about a block away, and I remember sitting on his back porch, and it was an enclosed back porch, and all of a sudden it would light up like Las Vegas, and it was the headlights of the planes coming in for a landing. But I guess
they
you
got
just
used
kind
to
of
it,
get
they
used to
said.
it. Yep.
You get used to it. Yeah, I had friends who lived near O'Hare International. Same thing. We were sitting on the back porch, and every 90 seconds we'd have to stop talking. And how to get used to this?
Well,
yeah, with the multiple parallel runways now, it's pretty common all over the city to hear the planes. And I was in Andersonville over the weekend last weekend. In fact, that jumbo jet coming in that I had to look up was Air Iberia that I included in the opening. That was right overhead, and that's it was on final.
Final approach into ORD.
People who live next to L trains and freight lines and all that other stuff, you just get used to it.
Okay. All right. I guess you do, because otherwise they wouldn't be able to sell those houses, and they'd all board up, and there'd be squatters and drug addicts in them.
Ro
wants to know what
brother.
your city.
Oh,
She wants to know your city's name.
This is Angus here. This is the boy cat. And also says that is Ro a woman, man? I don't know. But Ro says my brother used to drive a honey truck there at Midway. And I don't think honey truck is a tasty thing. I'm pretty sure I know that that's not a good thing.
Isn't it? You don't think it's a good thing?
I think it's I'm pretty sure it's a stinky thing. Honey truck. I will look it up.
Okay.
I think you're right. I think it's what they use to clean the airplane with, or the porta potties.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And Greg says, "What a beautiful cat." And if you take it off your lap.
Yeah. You should see my schnauzer. I had a schnauzer once for about a week. I picked him up on a CTA bus, brought him home.
Jesus is watching. Okay. I need to bring Ryan on, because this guy, I'll have him explain what happened. He had a tree limb fall on his house last week, and that's the start of this story.
Well, why don't
Ryan, are you there?
Well, I'll bring him on. Why don't we run the Wisconsin report so that we show that, and then you can give it all the color commentary.
Oh, because something's in there about it?
Yeah. Yep, he includes it in there. And Ryan's muted anyway.
Yeah, all right. Well, let's run the report.
Yes, I talk about
I want you to get some satisfaction out of this completely bullshit thing you went through.
That and Megan the Stallion we can talk about too.
Oh, good. I didn't know if you wanted to talk about that. But we got
Ryan's getting it coming and going these days.
Fair game, Garry.
His only satisfaction is to say something about all this, because otherwise he'd just cry all day.
Well, and he doesn't drink like the two of us do, so this is how he's
He just got
work
no
through
outlet.
Yes.
All right, the Wisconsin report first. It's Wisconsin, yeah,
Hey everybody, it's Ryan from Wisconsin. If you've listened to the show this week, you know I had some tree trouble. I blame all of this craziness on the beginning of the month when someone threw up in my wife's car. It's kind of been a downhill slide since then. Needless to say, a tree fell on my house. I was able to get someone to come take it off fairly quickly, but I overpaid. The funny thing is, when I went to the bank, because I got it down a little bit by giving the man cash, The bank teller said, "Here, I've got to give you this paper to make sure you're not taking this cash and feeding it into the Bitcoin machine." I said to the banker, "That might have been a better investment since this was a little steep for tree removal." If you're looking for place to go have sex with your boyfriend, the obvious place is to go to the Waukesha County Jail lobby. A man and his girlfriend about 3 a.m. ended up in the lobby under a blanket having sex. Needless to say, the police saw it on the camera, came out and arrested him. He's 28, she's 67, and lesson learned, find somewhere else to go have sex. I hope you have a great weekend, and it's goo-free.
Ryan, you said needless to say, but you need to say that is not needless. No, we need you to say it because we wouldn't know. How old were those people having sex?
He was 28. She was 67.
Oh, all right. All right. The boomer still got the boom shakalaka.
That's what some of the comments were. And when they posted it online, boy, she's doing well picking up 28-year-old.
And this was where?
In the lobby. Like you go to the jail and there's a lobby with the locked door, and right inside the lobby there, they brought their blanket at 3 a.m. and went at it.
Because I figured it was going to be like Midnight Express, that there would be something that started.
They were looking for a place to bed down for the night, I guess.
So they weren't there because they were going to jail. They just used that as their place to have carnal knowledge.
Yep.
Midnight Express, what, Leslie?
Don't you remember the scene in Midnight Express where she presses her bosoms up against the glass to help him find motivation to get out of that Turkish prison?
I don't remember that. I thought you were going for when he was in the cell and with the guard, and he shoved the guard on the hook and killed him.
Oh yeah, that was yeah. No, I'm pretty sure there were bare bosoms.
I don't
Correct
remember
me
that.
if I'm wrong, and somebody usually does.
But not confusing that with the, what is that? Cool Hand, is it where they were ladies washing the car?
Cool Hand Luke.
That's Cool Hand Luke.
Yeah. That's Cool Hand Luke. All right. Okay. Let's start with the tree limb. Last week, storm blows up and knocks a big limb onto the roof of your house.
Yeah, like Friday night, like at 10 o'clock. It shook the whole house. I thought it was the grill tipped over, and I went out and if Alan, you want to put the picture up there, I actually have a show and tell picture here of so there it is on the house.
Okay,
so,
and did it do any damage to the house?
It didn't. Surprisingly, it did not. So, and you can see here, it's still on the tree. So if that came loose, it would have kind of actually, if that would have broken loose, it probably would have swung through the front of the windows. So that's what I woke up to that night. So I started getting a hold of tree removal contractors.
Okay, and how did you go about looking for a tree surgeon?
Good old Google.
You Googled, and so how many came up?
I bet there was a half a dozen that I was familiar with that were in the kind of the Waukesha area, and some of them had emergency numbers. Some of them had emergency numbers on the website. I called, I texted. Some of them got back to me and said, "Hey, we can't come till middle of next week," or some of them didn't even respond to my inquiry.
Okay, and you landed on one.
I did.
And tell us the conversation.
Hey, this is what's going on. Send me some pictures. I sent him some pictures. He said, "Well, let me get a crew. Let me talk to them, and I'll get a hold of you in the morning." And he texted me at 5:30 in the morning and said, "I want to come out and look at it myself. I'll come out and look at it." He said, "Well, you really need to take the whole tree down than the limb. I'm going to charge you the same thing for the limb and the tree, so you might as well just take the whole tree down. Your insurance will probably pay for it because I know there's going to be roof damage."
And so the quote was
$5,300.
Oh, okay. Not only the limb of the tree, but your limb was removed, an arm and a limb, a leg and a limb. $5,300. I know it's expensive. I've priced tree removal. I know it's costly because it's very dangerous. Yep. And I understand that, but I've never heard of $5,300 as a quote for any size tree.
So
usually it's in the 2,000 range tops.
So I got him down to $5,050 if I paid him cash. So that's why I went to the bank and they didn't hassle me. They just wanted to make sure I was in sound mind and wasn't gonna.
Okay, but we in the pre-show were talking about this, and we thought it was $10,000 where you would run into some storm clouds as far as taking base. 5,000 seems just like a nosy teller.
But he handed me a piece of paper that I threw away that said, "Beware of the scams, the Bitcoin, the gift cards." And I said, "Oh, I'm not doing that."
I see. Oh, okay.
Oh,
well, wait a
so
minute.
he was trying to protect you. Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I didn't hear that part before. Yes,
Yeah.
because what happens, some of these, it's usually elderly people, get involved in these scams. Now
Right.
go get gift cards and crypto and send it to da-da-da, and we'll let your nephew go.
Is
and
yeah,
get what-
in jail somewhere.
Oh, okay. All right. So that's good. I like that.
But I got another $50 off. He had enough whatever nerve to say, "Well, I can't come pick up the cash tonight. I'll take another $50 off if you drive it to the nearby town and give it to me in a restaurant parking lot." Okay. Hank and I had to go out that way anyway, so
you put it in a empty chocolate
he was going to
box,
come by. He was going to come by the house, and I didn't want to deal with him, so I had a box of chocolate that was empty. So I put it in there and I taped it to the inside of the door and said, "If you really want your money, just come open the door. It's taped inside of the door in a box of chocolate."
This sounds like a ransom situation.
Yeah.
On top of that, so can I maybe assume that he is considering this an emergency call?
he did.
That's why he charged you this premium?
Double.
Oh.
Okay. He said if it was an emergency, it'd be 2,500 or so.
Well, no, but then he came out and said, "Hey, can I take the other tree down?" And I said, "Yeah, for the same price, just included in that." No, that'll be $2,100. And then on top of this, we had to drive through my neighbor's yard because there's no way to get to it because it's on a hill. So the neighbor's kind of a perfectionist. So I didn't want to go down that road either for now.
Well, so what road did you go down?
50.
Well, he ended up letting me go through it, but it put marks in his yard. And
so did you have to get that fixed?
no, we're going to kind of let and see what that looks like. And I said, if he doesn't, I'll throw some dirt on it.
Okay, there was a comment in there in the early 90s in the comment section, which is where they would be.
Oh, okay.
In the early 90s. God, what the hell's wrong with me? You know what's wrong with me? I'm watching too much television, and it's all so bad that I'm getting my brain rearranged.
Yeah.
The new season of Bridgerton's out.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Here's the stupid shit I see on television. There's a CBS morning show, and they'll say, "The CBS morning show is on CBS."
Oh.
That's like saying limousine limo. I don't. What the hell are you telling me this for?
Oh, we'll go there in a minute. Hold that limo thought.
Yeah, we got a limo coming up in the Ryan diatribe. In the early 90s, we paid $2,500 to $3,000 for tree work in Barrington, Illinois. Okay, but that seems now, in hindsight, and that's all we have now. It's all
I would have
done.
let it sit on the roof till next Tuesday.
That's what I was going to say, and then get more estimates.
But at that point, we didn't know what it was. It was somewhat dangerous. I mean, it was a fairly big limb, so.
But no insurance company involved here at all then?
No, because the deductible was close to what I paid for it. So
there you go.
The insurance agent said no sense running it. It's only money.
What else is going on?
As you said in your report a few weeks ago, kid throws up in your
That's
car.
what started all of this. It was a kid threw up in the car. We go into Hank's first communion, but then Jamie rips up the carpet on the stairs, and we have to do all of that, and then we just slide into this, and then we end with this. It was probably last week. Oh, by the way, I'm not home Friday. I'm going to see Megan the Stallion.
Okay, wait a minute. Don't get too excited here until we go in stages. So you do the stairs, you paint the stairs, looks very nice. You have your first communion party for Hank. Everything that goes well, right?
Goes well without a hitch.
Okay, all right. And you sold that car that had the throw up removed, but it wasn't to your satisfaction. So you sold the damn car.
I did, and
I see car's gone.
Yep, and it's on. I see it on their website, and they're not making much more money than a couple grand on it because they had to put tires on it and.
Okay.
An extra deep cleaning, no doubt.
So you taking your breath here this week. You paid the $5,000 in cash.
Yep.
And then your wife comes to you when and says what?
Monday or Tuesday. Hey, remember, you're going to have to watch Hank today, Friday, because I'm going to see Megan Thee Stallion. I said, oh, okay. You've seen it before. Are you going with the person that she would usually go with? No, I'm going with, I don't even know her name. Katie, Kara, something. And I said, oh, okay. And I said, you're going down to Milwaukee. No, we're going down to the Allstate Arena. I said, oh, Chicago. Well, no, it's not Chicago. I said, oh, okay, it's in Illinois. Okay, sounds good. So,
but it is in Illinois. It's in Rosemont, Illinois, which is how far from Waukesha?
Hour 15, hour 20. Yeah.
And how is she getting there?
Well, so then yesterday she said, well, I need $150 cash. And I said, oh, well, how much was the ticket? Well, I think I was $200. I said, what's $150 for? We're getting a chauffeur or a limo, like one of those black cars to come pick us up. Oh, okay. So, okay. And then she had to go to the store and bought 4 bottles of champagne and 24 pack of White Claw and a new cooler.
For 2 people?
I don't know how many are going. I didn't get the particulars.
Oh, and you don't want to ask because
no.
I guess it's better to be just a happy idiot at this point.
And hopefully if they get on those 4 bottles of champagne, they throw up in someone else's car. But I don't want the cleaning fee from the limo. I don't want that cleaning fee either. Someone said something about puking. I said, I don't want that.
Oh, golly.
Wow.
Just keep...
And you're standing
doling
there going,
it out.
Wait, is somebody pranking me? Because it's one weird thing after another.
It is. And I can deal with the funny weird. This is like life impacting, costing me money weird, which I don't like. But Leslie's doing the money thing. We did have fun because I was taking that guy the money and I said, Henry, here's $5,100 bills you can look at. Oh, this is great. I can go like that. So he was throwing the money around in the car.
Making it rain.
Yep.
Making it rain. That's what Alan did when he was a lawyer.
Money all the use out of that $5,000 I can. So, so I said, well, Hank and I aren't going to wait up for you tonight. So we'll see you at some point.
Well,
I'm just making sure that there is a Megan Thee Stallion concert at the Allstate Arena tonight.
No, don't go there.
And if there isn't, I'm not going to say anything.
Don't say anything.
Blink twice if there's not one, Leslie. We'll just all pretend there is one, and you can just.
And she saw the Stallion in Milwaukee not too long ago.
She did, but the money-saving thing is, and I think I showed it on it. Remember that table of makeup? Last time she went there, I think I showed you the picture. But that cost $200. So I figured I saved a little bit of cash because she would have had to do the makeup and the limo. So I didn't say, oh, are you getting your makeup done? I just kept my mouth shut.
Okay.
There is a concert. There is a Megan Thee Stallion concert tonight at the Allstate Arena.
Rest assured with that, Ryan.
Yes.
The show starts at 8.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But that's maybe 1 or 2 bottles of champagne just to get to that point. Oh, yeah, well.
But I did not take the lady to do some breastfeeding for gas today, this week. I did pass on that.
Oh, and all the other craziness that he's experienced, this happens at the gas station.
Yes, there's a lady that says, well, I need some gas, but you can come and basically play with whatever you wanted to play with for gas. And I thought, oh, okay.
By the way, it isn't the Allstate Arena. Yeah, I'm seeing that now too.
It's the United Center.
Yeah. So that is in Chicago.
That's what I thought.
Okay, so that's even deeper into the city. So you will see her Tuesday.
Isn't that where the Blackhawks play? The United Center?
Yes.
Okay, so I was right. I said I'm
it's not the Allstate Arena, it's the United Center. And by the way, a note to United Airlines, you're not getting your money's worth because I never think of United Airlines when I hear United Center.
No.
They should have had United Airlines Center, right?
Right.
There you go.
Do you think of United Airlines when you hear United Center?
No.
No. This is like Guaranteed Rate Field, which is where
it used
to be Comiskey, but their logo is great in terms of saving you money, but it is a big arrow pointing down, which doesn't exactly
Yeah,
spell
that's a bad
great
optic.
team spirit thing.
What do you
Yeah.
think drinks are at the United Center? 50 bucks,
Oh,
50 bucks a beer? No.
well, she
Not
shouldn't be
50, but
thirsty. I'm
yeah,
thinking,
she's
well,
got
she can't, but she can't bring
24
that
White
cooler in.
Claws. Yeah, and many bottles of champagne. She should be already lubed up. She doesn't need anything at the United Center.
Just a
Well, you seem to be
$6 bottle of water.
but you seem to be handling it fine, Ryan.
Yeah, it is what it is. Hank and I are going to go to the Olive Garden after the show. He wanted to go to the Olive Garden.
Nice.
So
She's in a limo with champagne. You're at Olive Garden. You and John. I have to hook you and Johnny up and get a TV show of this. There's something here that
we're at the Olive
is
Garden
bold.
eating the unlimited breadsticks, which didn't make them bankrupt.
Right. So somehow they've managed to skate by where Red Lobster is going down with the shrimp. With the shrimp boat.
They're all part of
Hey.
the Darden restaurant family, though. So
Can I ask you the conversation between you and Hank when you're having the unlimited salad and breadsticks? And he says, where's mommy tonight?
I said, she's
What do you say?
no, Jamie told him she was going to Megan the Stallion, because last night before he's going to bed, he said, "You're going to go see Megan the Stallion." She goes, "How'd you know that?" And he said, "You told me."
Oh.
So
well, Mom, I hope she does WAP. I hope
Mommy,
she does the
sing
song
me
that you
WAP
like.
so I can
Yeah.
go to sleep.
Mommy, what's WAP? What does WAP mean?
As he says to me, "You don't understand the language of today." So he would probably
Oh.
say, "What's WAP?"
And that's why things were simpler back in the day. Okay? This is it. No pornography, no goofy shit coming over there. Just
Didn't they have the dirty hour on
pattern.
those at 2 a.m.?
Have
The
what?
dirty hour?
The dirty hour? No. No.
Actually, we worked with, or I don't know if you did, I worked with a guy who was on the radio in the 60s, and the Wild-Eyed Tralian, Dick Biondi, and he got in trouble for making a joke about miniskirts.
No.
And
That's urban legend,
No?
Leslie. How many
Oh, it
times
is?
we're going to go over urban legend? Here's the joke that went out there but became urban legend. He was on the air, as you mentioned, in the early 60s. He was huge because there was no competition and rock radio was just coming in, and he had a huge audience. And he got fired from the station. And then it went that he told a joke on the air, what will happen if girls' skirts keep getting shorter? The answer, more cheeks to powder, more hair to comb. Okay, that was urban legend. He got fired because he punched a sales guy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
that's not nearly as exciting then.
Now, I know I did not work with him. I had met him a number of times, and I would listen to him, and he was still on the radio up until he died. I think he died right after he introduced Tommy James, he died.
and someone said
I used to share a computer with him.
I bet you did.
I've
Is
seen
that code?
things.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
I've seen.
Oh God, no. Really?
Yeah, and those things will go with me to my grave. Yes, I've seen things.
Okay. Can you give us a hint now that you wet the whistle?
No.
He's dead.
There you go. Right there. You said no.
Wet the whistle.
Wet our whistle.
Wet
our whistle.
Speaking of that, someone said the dirty hour is Eddie Schwartz, who just had a heavenly birthday.
Okay, for those of you not familiar with Chicago radio, we had some
liked
real
Leslie.
bizarro people. Ed Schwartz was and this is not an exaggeration, he was 720 pounds, and he did an all-night show. And the stories I heard surrounding him were some I will not say because they're so ugly. But he was constantly on patrol for women because, as you can imagine, he'd have a hard time getting dates. One of the funnier ones was he was talking to somebody who worked at one of the Chicago papers, a woman, and he liked her voice. And a guy that worked there said that he called him and said, "Can you tell me if she's good looking?" And I'm thinking, oh, excuse me, You have standards at 720 pounds. You won't go out with just anybody. Not that she would go out with him. And then the other story that was classic.
I don't date fatties.
I don't. Yeah, she better be looking. There was a new female news anchor in Chicago, and after one of her shifts, he was outside the studio with a dozen roses. He wanted to take her home. And she walks out of the studio. She told me this, so this is not hearsay. And she hears, hello. This is how he talked because his jowls were so huge. He talked like this. Hello. And she hears her name. Hello. Hello. And she's looking around, and here he is. And because he was so huge, I think he had the back seat of his car taken out, and the front seat was all the way back. So he's basically talking through the back window. And she comes up to the car, and he's got the dozen roses. Would you like me to take you home? Thank you. No, I'll take the flowers. Thank you. But no. Okay. He was so large that he couldn't operate the controls. He'd have a ruler to push all the buttons and stuff because he couldn't get to the buttons. And then the other women that worked with him told me stories that oh my God. Hello. Yeah.
Very
interesting. And you saw stuff from this Mr. Biondi on his computer that is kind of frightening.
Now that I look back at my radio career, all of it was frightening. Oh my God.
How do you separate?
But you know what? There you go. But honestly, now hanging with Ryan, I get the feeling that there's no such thing as normal. So
no, not even in the civilian
makes
world.
Us stronger. There you go.
Yeah, really. In civilian life, it's all weird everywhere. There's no one area that's super weird. It's all weird. Hello. Yes.
Write a book.
And then we can turn a little Bill Carlisle on, which my neighbor's been blasting all day.
Yeah. Before the show, Ryan says, my neighbor's been blasting this Bill Carlisle, and we didn't know who that was. It's a country singer from many years ago. And he was just blasting it on his front porch, or was he waxing?
He was out working in the yard and just had his boom box from the olden days and blasting Bill Carlisle. Probably had the cassette in there.
Ooh, speaking of which, cassettes are making a comeback with the youngsters. So, they're already vibing on the vinyl and typewriters and things like that. And so the newest thing, there you go. You might want to
put that with your Palm Pilot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Put that on eBay. So yeah, cassettes. So they can learn the joy of having to put a big pen into that hole and try and wind up the tape as it comes.
Right. When the tape got pulled out, you put a pencil in the sprockets and tightened it up. Oh, the good old days. Hey, I got to go back to Dick Biondi. He was on the radio for 60 years and still couldn't introduce a record without stepping on the vocals. After 60 years, he had heard these songs thousands of times, and he still wasn't any good.
Oh,
I don't know how he did it for 60 years playing music. Thought, okay, maybe you transition to something else on the radio, but he played music the same Tommy James and Dick Clark or Dave Clark and that kind of thing, and just never could get it right.
Last Train to Clarksville. We used to. I worked on this oldie station with him.
He'd be talking. Hey, this is the White Trail. Boom, 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 boom. Hey, it's 57 degrees. Boom, take all, and he's still talking. Take the last train. He's still talking. How many times, Dick, have you heard this fucking song? I mean, really.
We would beg them to just dig a little deeper into those Monkey albums because everybody knew all the songs. Do we have to only play Last Train to Clarksville? Yes, that's the only one we're going to play.
Okay, here's how
I'm
the
a
movie's
believer.
Open. Here's the movie. Here's how it opens. Leslie's finished with her shift, goes and opens the computer, and Dick has left his page on. And we zero in on whatever is on that screen, and then the movie starts. We go from there. Okay.
He didn't know to close tabs.
Yes,
so I'd come in first thing in the morning, and there'd be 17 tabs open, and a lot of them were tabs I didn't want to see. He's a funny dude.
Dick.
Dick.
What are you doing, Dick? Come on. You wild-eyed Trallian.
Oh, boy.
This
On
guy
top
in the
of
audience.
spaghetti. Oh,
Yeah,
God,
there was a
geez,
song that
popular.
he fed off of that made him very popular, On Top of a Pizza or something. This guy had 40% of the radio audience during his shift.
Wow.
You're lucky today on radio if you get 3%. That's something.
Somebody was saying that we should have a film about that. If that Jerry Seinfeld movie had gone over a little better, this might have been something that we should pitch to one of the streaming platforms, because boy, there were characters and
yeah, the stuff
oh,
we
and
saw.
the stories.
Oh, it's Pop-Tarts on acid. That's how we'll pitch it. They like a pitch. They need to have a pitch so they understand it. It's Pop-Tarts on acid. Do you like it?
I was touched inappropriately by a coworker, and this was back in the day when the big boss told me essentially, "Don't put your breast where his hand is." So that's the kind of environment.
That's the second scene. You open the computer, it's all the tabs, and then somebody's touching you, and you go, "What are you doing?" And they say, "You shouldn't have had your breast where my hand is."
Where's
That's the second scene. I'm getting goosebumps.
Wait, you're not going to reprimand him? Well, I'll give him a talking to. But
So
you
reprimand,
should just stay clear.
you're walking around with your body in a space that shouldn't be there.
A man's hands just happen to be out there.
Yeah. You walked into him. I can't reprimand for that. That's your fault.
Who was the one that gave you the inappropriate handshake?
Oh, that was the bodyguard for Saga, the porn star. He shook my hand and then did that thing where he tickled the palm. And
That's
and this was pre-hand sanitizer, so I just had to go and use actual soap and water to get that ick off. But it's stored right here.
Wow.
Okay.
I have never heard some of these stories.
You know what? Because otherwise I'd just cry.
You've buried them, right?
Exactly. My whole life, the PTSD is bubbling just below the surface. Better.
See,
just
Ryan,
to
you think your life's going to shit.
Boy.
Whew. Okay, the third scene is the limousine has the radio on, and it's playing Megan. And we pull back from the radio, and your wife and her friends are in the back drinking champagne, and just, whoop, 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 whoop. And you're at Olive Garden.
His little party, and we've got ours.
Right. And you're at Olive Garden with your son, and you're just sitting there eating breadsticks. I guess we're having a good time.
And they have flavored cocaine now. I see that popping up in the news.
Oh,
what?
Flavored cocaine.
The old
fashioned flavored. You could get like cucumber or
peppermint, butterscotch.
See, back in the olden days, you didn't have that, as Hank would say.
What, for holidays now? Because you don't want to have just regular cocaine. You got to have a flavor.
Yep.
Word is that it is still incredibly popular in Europe. I mean, England, they were saying that if you pull a standard bottle of water out of the Thames and test it, it's going to test positive for cocaine.
Is there a particular reason why they still are sucking down the Peruvian
party.
marching powder?
I guess. And now you go and make it flavored. I'm sure it's going to be even more. Oh, yeah, there you go. Come the fall, it's going to be pumpkin spice.
Yeah, Amy called it pumpkin spice this fall.
Yeah, Amy.
Yeah, Amy with the tip
Nailed
in.
it.
Thank you. We have the best viewers. They really get this, but not sensible bullshit. Pop quiz, Leslie, and I hope you're up for it. Name the 3 female orgasms.
We've got the volcano, the wave, and I called it the landslide, but I believe it's the avalanche.
Boom. Nice. Leslie, what
and
what
Tula's
airline,
making an appearance now.
What airline do most missionaries prefer?
Spirit.
Yes. Very
There you
good.
I've
All
been
right.
paying attention. Ooh, I'm ready.
have.
Come on.
You have, as much as you admitted this show kind of
You don't like
disgusts you,
it.
you really are not that disconnected from it.
Well, now you realize why some things like I can't bear all of this all the time. I have to. I always envision my brain like the storage facility in the movie Dreamcatcher. Like there are rooms and there are filing cabinets, and sometimes it's just better to close the door on certain rooms and never open them again. But
Right.
But lately I've been paying attention. I'm retaining, Gary.
Good. All right. Well, very
My pleasure.
impressed. Next week, I want you to explain all the loofah colors and what they mean.
That's going to be more difficult, but we've got a loofah for you.
Very good. Hold that thought. We're going to take care of the sponsors. Then you're going to tell us what's in the prize package. We'll put on the phrase that pays and all the rest of the stuff we've promised for this particular show, starting with Bettenhausen Automotive.
It's the season at Bettenhausen Jeep on 159th Street in Tinley Park. It's Jeep season. Right now, save $18,370 off a new Jeep Gladiator Rubicon. Save $17,165 off a new Jeep Grand Cherokee Overland. Here's your reason. Save $11,000 off a new Jeep Cherokee Altitude. Save $10,000 off MSRP on a new Jeep Wrangler Sahara. Showroom never closes at BettenhausenCDJR.com.
If you like saving cash, you will with Bettenhausen and with David Hochberg and his team. If you're looking for a mortgage, a refi, reverse mortgage, any of that, this is the guy. He'll save you money. And I heard, maybe you heard, the Dow hit 40,000 yesterday.
Yes,
And I hear the rates down in the sixes. All that can be explained properly by this man and his team. A free consultation. There's the number. Can't go wrong with David Hochberg. Known the man for 25 years. He's aces. Angus is very active.
This is Tula now. Angus
Powder,
I and now Tula's joined
I can only
the show.
see the back end, so I can't identify yet. All right.
Teeny,
so what are we giving
Don't
away,
look
Leslie?
like
And what should the phrase that pays be?
Well, we did hashtag loofah last week. Why don't we go Megan? Hashtag Megan.
Megan rub it in for Ryan. Yeah, let's just keep rubbing it in. How are you spelling this, Alan?
I want to spell it
ask
correctly.
Leslie that. Yeah.
MEGAN. Let's keep it civil.
I believe it is just simple. Megan. Yes, it is MEGAN.
Yeah. Hashtag Megan. Put it in the queue, and here's what you'll get if you win.
I kind of had a food thing go. Well, first let's talk about the loofah. So it is a teal loofah, and I'm not quite sure what the teal loofah is, but I'm pretty sure it's on our on the
list.
Chart.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you're into that, put it on your car. You'll find out.
MEGAN, no H, Scott. And then I do have kind of it's barbecue season, so let's go with the barbecue motif. And so these squeezy bottles for your barbecue sauce and your hot sauce, and a couple of pot holders.
Oh,
what does this say? Grill, eat, chill, repeat. Grill, eat, chill, repeat. A doggy bag for the leftovers. A spatula, because I have a spare. Let's see. Oh, and an egg, but it's not a real egg. It's a slime egg. And our slime egg is courtesy of Tracy from Wisconsin, who sent us some brand new swag, a whole new box of bendables, because we love the things with the googly eyes. Sometimes their eyes fall off in transit, but you can stick them right back on. So, Scott says he won 3 months ago. Okay. Yeah. Figure a year since your last win, then you can join again. But thank you for holding off, Scott. So bendable, and then I don't know if I can show this properly, but these groovy little cars she sent, and they're the kind where if you pull them back, it builds up enough momentum to zoom them forward. Nice. So that's kind of fun. Scott from Scott's Vintage. Oh, and of course, Tracy, please, ball lickers.
Gotta have the ball lickers.
Gotta have the ball lickers. Our friends from Oh Yes, as always, providing us with koozies, bracelets, and and a guitar pick. And then Scott from Scott's Vintage Antiques and Collectibles gives us a Albert Einstein postcard. He's playing his violin. A fortune-telling fish, a Bob's Big Boy collector card, and finally the prize that started it all.
The wine condom.
How's that?
All right.
There you go. Damn,
Alan will
man.
hit the button in a few minutes, but right now we're going to do some of the stories you promised.
Hashtag Megan, get in on this. An Algerian man who went missing 26 years ago has been found after being held in an animal pen beneath his neighbor's home the entire time. The man, identified only as Omar B., disappeared back in 1998 during the country's civil war. His family assumed he'd been caught up in the fighting and killed. Turns out, nope, he's being held captive the entire time by a neighbor, now age 61. He might never have been found, but for a tip provided by the kidnapper's brother. One might ask, why didn't he ever try to escape that goat pen in the cellar? Well, Omar tells his rescuers it was because of a spell that his captor had cast upon him. He's now undergoing medical and psychological treatment.
I don't know how 26 years you stay in a pen in a basement. I get claustrophobic in the backseat of a car.
I guess his captor threw down some fresh straw now and then, because when they did find him, he had straw sticking in his hair. So,
okay, that explains it.
There's a beauty trend that has people buzzing. It's called face basting, and it involves slathering one's face at night with a whole lot of diaper cream. The active ingredient here is zinc oxide. It traps moisture, so you wake up with what they say is smooth, glowing skin. It's really not all that outlandish, since zinc oxide has been used to prevent sun damage from overexposure. It is not, however, recommended for those with oily skin, and it's definitely going to require one to change their pillowcases a whole lot more often, I would think.
Have you ever done this?
Zinc oxide, baby diaper. You know what? The smell of some of those diaper creams.
Was that anything that Dick Biondi was ordering when you saw his?
No, he was not. There wasn't so much online ordering going on. It was mostly just wacky emails. Anyway, Elon Musk made a bold prediction about the future of humans in space this week. The Tesla CEO suggests that there could be a human-occupied city on Mars within the next 30 years. He says it'll start with an unmanned mission to the red planet within about 5 years, followed by a manned mission about 5 years after that, and then a permanent base, and so forth and so on. Mr. Musk has a history of making bold predictions that don't always correspond with actual achievable timelines.
Right. Say anything. Say we're going to be there in 10 years, Elon. Really, give it up.
Well, and like anybody's going to hold him to it.
Well, yeah, and we could say anything. How are you going to haul enough material on a spacecraft that you could use to build the? Really,
it's going to be like Gattaca. They'll just send up a rocket every 15 minutes. It's going to be just fine. Everybody, there are lots of stories that people are buzzing about that really fit into that weird category. And one of them, though, was what happened to the world's top golfer. He got arrested today on his way to a PGA championship. Scottie Scheffler was handcuffed and taken into custody following a misunderstanding with police directing traffic. He had attempted to drive past an officer who was blocking access to the Valhalla golf course in Louisville, Kentucky. That officer then threw himself onto Scheffler's car and clung to it until he came to a stop. Scheffler was then arrested on the spot and taken to a local police department in handcuffs for processing. He was released a short time later, allowing him to return to the course and his championship play.
And the chant was, "Get him out of the hole, Dean Tang. Get him out of the hole, Dean Tang."
Wait. We cannot talk golf without Garry. Also, for those who have been there way too long, who may have had like 4 bottles of champagne and 24 White Claws.
Right. Because you're standing in the hot sun for hours, and towards the end of each day, the player tees off, and you're they can't even make a word.
Saying it's in the hole becomes too difficult, so you just
Right,
say,
it's just up top of the hour, traffic, news, weather, sports, and everything else you don't need for the next 15 minutes. Are we? Oh, there are the cicadas.
There you go.
They are loud.
There.
I just and those are the ordinary annual ones. I just pulled that out of my archive.
That isn't even the current crop, huh?
No, that's the annual ones that you hear like in my old hometown of Lincolnwood.
All right, and are we ready, Alan, to hit the button?
Yeah, sure.
We are. Here we go. Hashtag Megan.
We only have a handful of entrants. I think Leslie's scared.
What the hell? What are we scared? What's the problem?
I don't know.
You don't like free stuff anymore?
You guys, this is
what the hell?
This is awesome stuff. The girls at the post office have come to expect. I mean, like they know
really?
now that I just hit continue, and no, I am not sending anything liquid, perishable, or toxic in your prize packages.
Come on, you're gonna go
Hashtag
out and buy a
Megan.
ball liquor? I don't think so.
No.
All right.
Well,
Well, we do what
some
we
of these,
do.
you know what, and kudos to you who've won recently for not tying things up. So that's kind of nice. Let's give everybody a chance.
Oh well, here we go. Hit it, Alan.
All right, let's put it back on the screen. That would be this button here. There we go. Oh, and I guess we'd like to have a little music to go with it. That would be this button over here. And here we go.
David Erickson. All right, tell David what he should do, Alan.
David, email your mailing address to Garry Meier Show at GarryMeier.com or text it to 773-888-2157. Regular charges apply. And Leslie will do what she said she was going to do with the fine folks at the post office.
All right.
And a loofah's on its way.
Yes. Maybe those Mexican jumping beans scared people. They don't want to get crawly things in the mail.
Well, and I swear there's nothing that can hurt you in this. I mean, unless you do something inappropriate with the loofah, this is all pretty tame stuff.
Oh, well. Okay, that's it for now. Talk to you on Monday. Enjoy your weekend if possible. I think I'm off to a good start. It is time for the cannoli coming down the aisle. It's delicious. Please take it. There it is. What about the schnauzer, Leslie?
Can you rub your schnauzer with your loofah?
I'll drink to that. Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
3 in the green. Would you like a mimosa? 3 in the green. Gear is down. Flaps are down. The Voice of the Globe, America's podcast, the GarrForce, and Alan Delinka production has ended.
And that's it for all the news and nonsense here at the GarrForce.
If you like that, I got other stuff I think you're going to like. This is the GarrForce.
Thanks for streaming. Like, subscribe, and be kind. But no need to rewind. It sure would be terrific if you subscribe to the GarrForce Live YouTube channel.
More eyeballs.
If you're watching this show recorded, that button is right here. And if you'd like to look at past episodes, try that button.
Boom. Shakalaka.
That's it. All right. How do you shut this thing off?